where he could not have breathed. So in saying that, Your Honor, he knowingly, intentionally drove that vehicle over the victim, and the state would be asking for 35 years, Your Honor.
All right. Court found you guilty. The court is going to take in consideration 2021 CR 9982, 2021 CR 9983, give you credit for any time served, and the court will sentence you to 35 years in the prison. All right, thank you. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 9984, State of Texas versus Jose Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Alfonso Cabañas for defendant Jose Gonzalez.
And are you Mr. Gonzalez? All right, you're gonna need to keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear. And so that I can hear. You entered a plea of no contest to count one. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 35 years in the prison. And there are two cases that are being taken in consideration. Those cause numbers are 2021 CR 9982 and 2021 CR 9983. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
I have, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
None from defense, Judge.
All right, state, do you have any witnesses?
Not for the sentence.
Defense, any witnesses?
Yes, Judge, only Mr. Gonzalez, but I don't know if the court wants to allow him to talk or.
However you wish to do it. If I'm going to swear him in, if he's going to be doing it by narrative and the state has no objections, then we can proceed by narrative.
And we can do that, Judge.
All right.
Narrative.
State, will you have any objections to proceeding with testimony from the defendant by narrative? Of course, you'll have a chance to cross-examine him. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Gonzalez? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, please. All right, and defense says there's something you wish to inform the court of?
Mr. Gonzalez, you were given an opportunity to talk to the judge. But, well, let me just set it up, Judge. We've had a chance to go over the PSI. Right, Mr. Gonzalez? Prior to today, you and I had talked about what was going to happen this morning, and you are aware of it, right? It is your desire.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're going to have to speak up. Court reporter cannot hear. All right, yes.
It is your desire, Mr. Gonzalez, to talk to the judge about the sentencing today and tell her what it is you feel or what it is you want her to know about the sentencing, correct?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Gonzalez.
I stand before not only you, but the family of the victim as well.
Okay, I am so sorry, but you're whispering. And I know it's hard, but if the court reporter can't hear you and I can't hear you, then what you're saying is not going to make a difference because I can't hear you.
I stand before the judge today, ma'am, not only the judge, but the family of the victim as well, ma'am. And I just want to say, not only am I embarrassed, but I truly am sorry. And I take full responsibility for what happened that night. And it wasn't intentional. I was under the influence. I made some bad choices and even worse decisions. And I just want the family to know that I truly am sorry. This isn't my character. I was out of character this night that this happened. And I know how I would feel if this would happen to one of my family members. And I just want the family to know that it wasn't me that night. Like I said, I had some things go wrong in my life and I made bad choices and completely am sorry for it. I can't say it enough or express how truly sorry I am and remorseful. And I know that not only do they have to live with it, but it's something that I have to live with the rest of my life. And I truly am sorry from the bottom of my heart for everything that I caused and for all this that I brought up, and I accept full responsibility.
All right. Any other questions for your client?
No questions at this time for Mr. Gonzalez, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Gonzalez, you saw the PSI report with your attorney, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, you just need to speak up.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Is there anything that from your statement in here that you would like to retract from what you talked about, especially about the actual incident that night? Because the reason I ask that is because you said today in court that you're taking full responsibility for it.
Yes, sir.
Now, the problem is that in this report, and I'll read from it, it says that the person that you ran over tried to hit you with a tire iron.
Yes, sir.
And then you also stated that he jumped in front of the truck 2 different times.
Yes, sir.
And then the second time is when I ran him over. But you do realize that he walked in front of that vehicle. I have a video that I'll be showing you shortly. And he came over to the driver's side. You recall that?
Yes, 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 sir.
And you were in the driver's seat and you drove forward and then you backed up. And
Yes, sir.
then that person, Mario Renteria, walked in front of the car and got into the grassy area. Do you recall that?
I'm sorry, just 1 second. Excuse me. In the box, if you all cannot whisper, do not talk. We're on the record. You may continue.
Do you recall that? He got out of the way of the vehicle. He was getting out of your way and you turned the wheel and drove directly over him. Do you recall that?
I turned the wheel to the right. He was standing in front of the driver's side in front of me, and I turned the wheel to the right to try to veer off and go around, but there's only so far because there's a ditch right there that I was. But
You saw the video, right? You're gonna have an opportunity to see it again, okay?
yes, sir.
So I might give you the benefit of the doubt, considering that you're intoxicated at night. Why don't you tell the judge, what were you on that night?
Meth, marijuana. I don't even know what else.
Xanax?
I don't even remember taking Xanax, sir. But if I was,
And also, just going to your record, you just got out of prison,
yes, sir.
and then this happened.
Yes, sir.
And so the way I read this is that you're stating that it was the victim's fault that you ran over him.
I'm not gonna say it was all completely his fault, but I mean, if it's seen like on the video, I tried to go around the passenger side. I was trying to avoid a situation that happened at the gas pump, period. And that's what I was trying to get away from.
So how you just said not all of his fault, or possibly his fault. How is it any of his fault?
It's not his fault. I mean, we were both at bad places at an even worse time. And I mean, I know he was just changing his tire, but at the same time, when I approached him, if I recall correctly, I told him like, hey, I wanted to try to get out of there, period. And when I asked him for a ride, it just, I don't know, it wasn't, I guess because my demeanor, I have my shirt off, I have tattoos. Maybe I was.
You're a gang member, right?
No, sir.
You're not part of the Mexican mafia. That's what it was dictated in here.
I understand it was dictated, but no, I'm not.
What's the Playboy bunny behind your ear?
It's just a Playboy bunny.
Just a Playboy bunny?
Yes, sir.
That's not related to the Tango Horns at all.
No, sir. The Ore horns and the Mexican mafia.
I know they conflict. I see people some switch sides. So you also, do you remember approaching him for the first time? You approached him twice.
Oh, I don't.
And so you approached him once, had an altercation with him, you walked to the gas pumps, and then you walked across the road. Do you remember that?
No, sir.
Do you remember being in the median with your boxers down, your shorts down?
No, sir.
And do you remember walking back and talking to people at the gas pumps again? Do you remember going then to the victim's truck when he was on the passenger side trying to change his tire?
When I remember was when I walked up to him when he was at the driver's side and he was standing there with I guess the tire iron in his hand.
To be fair, he's changing the tire. So what would you have in your hand if you're changing the tire?
I mean, I understand that.
Well, you stated here that he hit you with it. Do you recall that, or you just say that?
No, I said he swung it at me. I never said he hit me with it.
Well, because in here it says that I closed the door and the guy was standing there with the tire iron. Was that the individual, the victim that you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Did he ever bash on the windows or anything like that, trying to get you out of that truck? It's on video, so I want to know if you remember.
I don't remember. I'm not.
Do you recall saying that there was another guy in the truck and he was closing the door and that there was a girl in the truck that you're trying to help?
That was the first truck that I
First
walked
truck.
up on.
Now, to be fair, you don't know those people over there by the gas pumps either. I talked to them and they don't know you. And it states in here that you said that you were trying to steal the truck. Is that right?
No, I never said I was trying to steal a truck.
You said, I told the officers that I was trying to steal the truck, but that's a lie.
I told the officer I was trying to steal a truck and I said, that's a lie.
But you know that you weren't supposed to be in that vehicle, right?
Yes,
And that was not your vehicle.
yes.
Judge, at this time, I'd like to use a state exhibit, I believe number 2, that was entered for stipulated steps to show and see if you can identify portions of that.
Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
All right. You may present State's Exhibit number 2.
And Judge, that's on the screen currently.
At your computer?
At this time, I'm gonna be playing at 22:44:04, sir. You see that person right there?
Yes, sir.
And is that you?
Yes, sir.
And that's you with your shirt off, but is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Where are you approaching? Can you see? Who's that you're approaching, sir?
I have no idea.
Is that the truck? Can you see what that is? You see that there's a person on a bicycle there too, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And do you know that individual?
No, sir.
So he's standing there while you're at that truck. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you see yourself walk off there?
Yes, sir.
That's the first time you approached the victim at a truck. Now I'm going to 22:50:33. I'm gonna start playing it here. Can you see an individual at that truck in a white shirt? He just walked around, there's a glitch. Now you're gonna see another person walk up right here. You know who that person is?
Can't see that good from here.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry.
Can't see that good from here.
Well, I'll tell you, that's you approaching him for the second time, roughly 6 minutes later, after you left him the first time. You approach and you go to the side of the vehicle. Lights come on. You see the victim walk in front of the truck, go to the driver's side. You know who's behind the wheel at this point?
I am.
Looking at you, drive forward, where you could have driven off at this point, but you chose not to. You reversed and turned the wheel. Now you have the victim in the middle of the vehicle. He walks off into the grassy area. You turn right and run directly over him. Do you recall that?
No, sir.
Second portion here, you ram it into the Texaco. It didn't end up there. You rammed it into Texaco. You'll see you exit the vehicle. Nobody else in that vehicle. Witnesses are going out to check on the victim in the middle of the field. You continue to walk inside of the gas station. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir. Walking in the gas station, yes.
And Judge, there's many different views, but in one particular that I will be showing to the court is camera angle number 13. And I'll use portions of that. So to save some time for going through every single one of them. But I'll start this at 22:54. I'm sorry, 22:53. Do you see yourself on the top of that camera walking by? And I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this to 22:54:30. I'm sorry, 22:54:17. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
Is this you? Do you know who you're talking to at this point?
No, sir, I don't.
Talking to officers that have come in to arrest you. This time I'll fast forward it, Your Honor. I'm starting 22:55:42. As officers approach, you retreat into a small office. And that's where they have to enter. And that's where the cases that are being taken into consideration of you kicking 2 different officers. Do you recall that?
No, sir.
So in saying all this and showing you these videos, you state in this statement here that I'm hoping they see the videos. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And so I mean,
No, sir.
that's my witness law.
Defense?
Judge, just to clarify a point that I think was just misread by the state. In reviewing the PSR, I think the statement was, this is correct, Mr. Gonzalez. They told the officers that I was trying to steal a truck, but that's a lie. All right, so you never told the pre-sentence investigator person you were trying to steal the truck. It was whoever told them that it was a lie. You weren't trying to steal it. And then, based on what we saw, Mr. Gonzalez, you were under the influence of several drugs, correct?
Yes, sir.
Nothing further, Judge.
State, any further questions? All right. Any other witnesses, defense?
Not from defense, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will hear argument. State,
We'll reserve for close, yeah.
defense.
Thank you, Judge. I think what we just saw, Your Honor, on both video and what we heard from Mr. Gonzalez are the unfortunate consequences of an individual who was heavily intoxicated by multiple drugs. If the court reviews the PSR, it will see that prior to this incident, Mr. Gonzalez did not have any assaultive offenses. It was nothing but drug use, for which he did his time and was on parole. From the beginning of my representation of Mr. Gonzalez, Your Honor, I want the court to know that Mr. Gonzalez has been very apologetic for that night, for the death that he caused and for the terrible loss that it caused to the victim's family. He's never once, Mr. Gonzalez, he's never once told me that he wanted to fight this case or take this case to trial. Nonetheless, we reviewed discovery, we saw the video, we saw the reports, and it is confirmed through the evidence and his testimony that he was heavily intoxicated by use of meth. The court just saw his behavior was erratic. As Mr. Gonzalez said, it's completely out of character for him that evening. But as a consequence of his drug use, Your Honor, there was a person who died and for whom Mr. Gonzalez expressed his remorse and also his sorry to the family. And I say that, Judge, because I want the court to consider what Mr. Gonzalez said, the PSR, but more importantly, and acknowledging that Mr. Gonzalez from the very beginning accepted his guilt, regardless of what the state asked him or regardless of his answers. You can tell that Mr. Gonzalez has difficulty expressing himself, but I want the court to know that in no way did Mr. Gonzalez ever or today try to minimize his guilt or put the blame on the victim. He accepted responsibility. He told the court he was under the influence of drugs. And he didn't. And so with that said, Your Honor, I would like the court to consider a punishment, thank you, to consider a punishment for Mr. Gonzalez of 20 years incarceration.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Victim in this case, Mario Renteria, just trying to fix his flat tire. Pulled up into that gas station where he'd been numerous times before. Testimony that he was there quite often to go get a drink before he goes to work or anything like that. He was a frequent individual that came by there. He was a nice man, that he was just there to change that tire. And what ended up happening to him that night is egregious. This individual, Mr. Gonzalez, has pled to this case, but the fact is that he hasn't answered for the case yet. And the fact is that he approached the victim 2 different times, and witnesses would have testified and in the prosecution guide that Mr. Renteria was not aggressive, that wasn't attacking Mr. Gonzalez at all, was trying to get away from him at times. And you can see from the video that the state has provided to the court and shown to the court that the victim walked in front of that car 2 different times, and the defendant had an opportunity to leave in that stolen vehicle if he wanted to leave. But he chose to turn that wheel to the right and run over Mr. Renteria directly. And so in saying that, Your Honor, I want to go over a portion of what the autopsy shows of the damage that the defendant caused. Both femurs, both legs were broken in half. Pelvis had multiple fractures. He had a broken mid-back and the thoracic. He had a lacerated liver. He had a lacerated lungs. He had a skull fracture, and every single one of his ribs were broken. What is called a collapsed abdominal, where he could not have breathed. So in saying that, Your Honor, he knowingly, intentionally drove that vehicle over the victim, and the state would be asking for 35 years, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Gonzalez, I want you to know that I always reread stipulations. I always read the PSI report, and I always keep an open mind in listening to arguments from the defense and also from the state. And I understand that maybe if you had not been using drugs, maybe none of this would not have happened. We will never know, because we have to deal with what we're here for now. And what I'm looking at is the fact that you had someone who is merely trying to change their tire, and now they're dead through no fault of their own. So that's an issue. I know that anytime that someone is sentenced to, it's difficult, because those are years behind bars that you're not able to do the things that you want to do. You can still see your family, but it's different seeing your family locked up as opposed to being in what they call the free world. But at the same time, there's someone who is no longer with us through your actions, and who knows what joy or happiness they were due to bring to this world, but you took their chance away from that. You took the chance of them being able to have more time with their family. You understand? That's either yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So previously, the court found you guilty. The court is going to take in consideration 2021 CR 9982, 2021 CR 9983, give you credit for any time served, and the court will sentence you to 35 years in the prison. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Ma'am.
All right. Is there going to be victim impact?
Yes, we have to.
All right. So members of the complainant's family are going to speak to you. I require that everyone in this court is respectful to each other. But as you can imagine, I'm sure there is heartbreak. So just internalize what's being said. All right.
Just to let you know, the advocate for the 187 is going to read a letter because the family feels like they don't need to.
All right.
This is from Jessica Renteria, which is the cousin of Mario Renteria. Jessica feels that Jose Gonzalez should get the maximum sentence for killing her cousin. The entire family will never be the same. We have an empty space in our hearts that we can never get back. The heartache that you caused has caused the entire family a sense of emptiness, especially for Mario's elderly parents and siblings who all live in Mexico and are not able to be here. His siblings were not able to say goodbye to their older brother or to be at the funeral for a final goodbye. They can never visit his gravesite to leave flowers or simply talk to him in his final resting place. Mario Renteria Prado has left behind 4 kids and his 2 young granddaughters who he will never grow up to see. My cousin was a hardworking individual who took care of his family and helped out his extended family when he could. He was a good person who had so much life to live and has been taken away due to a senseless act of violence. I believe in our justice system and know that the right sentencing was done. This next statement is from his daughter, Xenia Renteria. The morning after August 14, 2021 started with what felt like a real life nightmare. Unwittingly, I have mental replays of every single moment that I have after waking up to the news of what had happened. The fear, the anguish, the shock, the disbelief, the void, so unexpected and so unimaginably painful. Nothing of words could accurately describe it. My dad was caring, hardworking, and he respected by many. He was also very intelligent, wise, and attentive. What I loved most was hearing my dad laugh, and what I admired most was his heart. Seeing my dad smile made me happy, and hearing my dad laugh made my heart smile. His love for our family was like no other. It was undoubtedly the strongest force to feel. He treated me like his little princess, along with my younger sister. He was the first person to check in on me when I wasn't doing so well, and he never failed to show me that he was there for me. My dad loved nature and being outdoors. He loved the rain and the sounds of birds singing. He loved music, his guitar, and his red pickup truck. My dad lives in my heart, and I miss him every single day. I miss his humorous nature. I miss hearing him laugh. I miss seeing him smile. I miss seeing his contact pop up on my phone as he calls. I miss his jokes. I miss the feeling of the love and the safety that he provided with our family.
Sorry, just 1 second. Excuse me, Deputy. All right, you may proceed. I'm sorry about that.
Life is beautiful and it's full of choices. But sadly, it is chaos written with poor souls who know not peace nor love. Grief is an ugly thing. It's like a gaping hole in your chest that doesn't get better with time. You just live with it. The pain still feels unreal and inhumane, but the love our family feels for my dad is and always will be stronger than any evil.
All right, thank you. Edward Ramirez, court is calling 2021 CR 8399W, State of Texas versus Edward Ramirez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Anton Haag for Mr. Ramirez.
Are you Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Are you the same Edward Ramirez who was placed on community supervision in 2021 CR 8399W for the offense of theft under $2,500 enhanced on September 17th, 2021 for a term of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 4, on or about the first day of June 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Edward Ramirez, did then and there fail to conduct himself in a properly and orderly manner, and that he did not comply with the instructions of the supervision officer and court in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? Any objections?
No, Your Honor, my client's aware of them, and he's been very truthful, wants to explain that to you.
All right. All right. Do you have any objection to the state's waivers of the other allegations, counsel? All right. Mr. Ramirez, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you to 1 year in the state jail facility and up to $1,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
The court would find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
And no, Your Honor, we were going open to the court.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
State's requesting 1 year in the state jail facility.
All right, defense.
Tell the judge how old you are.
You want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear? That's okay.
Thanks for calling.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
I need to work on this, ma'am.
Defense.
Okay, and what is your age, sir?
My age is 60 years old.
And do you live with your parents right now?
Yes, sir.
Are you disabled and unable to earn an income?
Yes,
And do you basically take care of your parents, who obviously are older than you?
yes, I sure
Are,
do.
are they also infirmed or disabled?
They're disabled, especially my mom and my brother. Then nobody wants to take them to the doctor's appointments for nothing. I'm the only one that does. My probation officer knows.
All right, can we to the issue of the circumstances surrounding violation of condition number 4?
Which is why I left that day when I was here in the court. No,
No, the violation of condition number 4, you've pled true, and it is that you failed to conduct yourself in a proper and orderly manner. So what is that about?
what do you mean by improper?
Well, you tell me, what did you do?
Nothing, ma'am. I just came over here to the day when I had it on the 1st of June. And then I didn't eat breakfast that morning, so I had a lunch and spoke to the lady who's over there. And I asked if I can go to the restroom, and she said, no, you cannot leave the building. So then a guy came over and took my urinalysis, and then I asked her again if I can go, and she goes, just don't leave the building. But the only reason I left the building, man, was because I wasn't gonna come back into the courthouse full of poop on my pants and everything, because I did poop when I went to the restroom on myself, so I wasn't gonna come smelling the restroom like poop, right? So I called my probation officer and I told her that I had an accident here at the courthouse and I wasn't planning on going and embarrassing myself inside the courthouse. And she says, well, I don't know what I can do for you. That was it, man. But I did call.
All right,
Pass.
any questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, probation.
Yes, Your Honor. The recommendation at probation and at this time is to extend his supervision by 18 months and amend for status followed by aftercare.
All right, and state, what are you requesting?
1 year in the state jail, Judge. The reason for that is because he's already shown that he would not listen to the court when directly told to stay for your analysis test.
I did stay for the urinalysis test. I did take the urinalysis here in the bathroom and check that out.
Your Honor, he did in fact submit his urinalysis on that day. It was positive for cocaine,
All right, and then he left.
and then he left.
I don't know how you're able to take care of your parents and you're doing drugs. That's not a good thing.
Man, I guarantee you, I did that because I had so much.
No, you cannot be taking drugs
I understand.
when you're on probation, and you cannot be taking drugs and taking care of your parents.
I understand that, but.
And I don't allow people to take care of their parents.
It was just that one time.
No, it's not just one time. And you know how I know it's not just one time?
I remember now, but that day, that time, the first time, it wasn't not my urinalysis that they had took. Because get to the point that I knew that I was clean at that time. I know.
Here's the thing. This is not the first time that you've used cocaine. The end.
Okay,
I mean, it's not. So how often have you been using?
not that often, man. I get anxiety attacks and I get also, my nerves are too high. Get off, what you call it,
All right, you have a choice. I can sentence you to 10 months in the state jail facility, or either I can extend you, but you're going to still be in custody because you're going to be sent to SATA. And that's an inpatient drug treatment.
can I just get at least a year of probation more extended, and then I can prove to you and I can show you that
The
I'm.
judge is not gonna put you on probation, just not gonna revoke you, be in a incarcerated program no matter what,
How long are you requesting that he be extended?
18 months.
Your Honor, 18 months.
All right, I'll deny the motion, alternate main conditions, extend you for 18 months. And you're to go to SATA. And there, he is not allowed to live with his parents. And you're not allowed to provide care for your parents, because you cannot do that and you are using drugs. Is there anything else he needs? Probation?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and he's to remain in custody until transferred to SATA.
Yes, Your Honor, every excuse.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Go ahead and vote the date.
Cal Hardy, who is the defense attorney on Cal Hardy? Hello.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing great. Court is calling 2023 CR 3227B, State of Texas versus Cal David Hardy. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar, State of Texas.
Defense?
Bob Hicks representing Kyle Hardy.
Are you Mr. Hardy?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea to theft under $2,500 enhanced on May 30th.
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 16 months in the state jail facility. There's no application for deferred adjudication. The state is opposing your application for community supervision. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
I have, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
None from the defense, Your Honor.
Witnesses, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will hear argument.
Your Honor, at least here in this case, there were several cases that were currently being into consideration, several of those cases. It's in light of that we are asking for the 16 months in the state jail facility, due to the fact that this wasn't his first or his only offense. He also does have a prior criminal history. He has several cases from Bexar County and even out of county. Additionally, at a prior theft under $2,500 enhanced from 2020, he was eventually, through much difficulty, sentenced to 186 days credit in the state jail facility. So again, based off prior history, we'd ask that it be 16 months.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Mr. Hardy requests that the state consider placing him on community supervision, as it says very clearly in the PSI and in a TAP evaluation. He has had a cocaine habit for the past 7 years or so. As a matter of fact, when he was taking coke, when he started using cocaine, he quit using the other, he was at the time using methamphetamine and quit using meth because of his cocaine use. It also got him to quit smoking marijuana. I don't think I've ever seen anybody rehab themselves using cocaine, but he admits that he has a drug habit. He admits that he has a problem. And I would request the state consider giving him probation, because if we send him to the state jail for his next 16 months, we're going to have somebody back with a drug problem. If the court would allow him to follow the recommendation on the TAP, which was the substance abuse track at the intensive at the ISF, state ISF, followed by ASP to make sure that the treatments that he received there are working. I believe he has a child who lives in El Paso. He has family who live outside of Bexar County. And he had been unemployed for quite some time at the time of his offense. He was high at the time of his offense. And I believe that part of sentencing in the court is for the purpose of punishment, but I believe it's also for rehabilitation. And I believe it's much more congruent with the hope of rehabilitating Mr. Hardy, that you put him on probation rather than sending him to the state jail.
So,
All right, Mr. Hardy, are you able to see the screen with your criminal history?
I wear glasses, but I see it more.
All right, so in 2016, you were sentenced to 32 days jail for possession of controlled substance penalty group 3, less than 28 grams.
Yes, ma'am.
July 2016, you were sentenced to 28 days for criminal trespass to private property. August 23rd, 2016, criminal trespass to private property, you were sentenced to 20 days. October 11th, 2016, theft $100 to $750, you were sentenced to 90 days in the jail.
Yes, ma'am.
February 2017, criminal trespass, private property, 36 days jail. March 16, 2017, criminal trespass to private property, 10 days jail. August 3rd, 2017, criminal trespass to property, 26 days jail. September 2017, criminal trespass to private property, 22 days jail. October 30th, 2017, criminal trespass to private property, 26 days jail. January 1st, 2018, evading arrest or detention, 30 days jail. June 2018, criminal trespass to property, you were placed on deferred adjudication, that was revoked and you were given 60 days. July 11, 2018, public lewdness, 60 days jail. August 22nd, 2018, criminal trespass to a building, vehicle, 42 days jail. January 30th, 2019, criminal trespass to private property, 30 days jail. May 2020, indecent exposure, 41 days jail. August 2020, criminal trespass to private property, you were given, let me see, that case ended up being dismissed for another. August 11th, 2020, criminal trespass to property, dismissed over. May 23rd, 2021, indecent exposure, 80 days. September 2021, criminal trespass to private property, that was dismissed, indecent exposure dismissed. And I'm assuming these indecent exposures are he's homeless and maybe he's urinating in public. And then you have a possession less than a gram in 2018, dismissed insufficient evidence. September 2019, theft of a person, 90 days state jail. January 2020, theft enhanced $2,500, 6 months in the state jail facility. June 2022, evading arrest detention, 4 months state jail. January 19, 2023, here we are. And then you have this out of state things. June 2011, possession of marijuana, 5 days jail. January 12th, 2012, stealing, 8 days jail. And that's from Missouri. Then you go to California and then Kansas.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I tell that to you, Mr. Hardy, you're not a good candidate for probation, right? You're just going to have to do better with your life. And I will ask that you be placed in the therapeutic community at the state jail facility. If you want it, you're going to have to request it, but they will help you with any drug issues you have. And then once you're released, you can go to drug places here in San Antonio. They are free. So if you want help, you can get it. But if you don't want it, what's going to end up happening at some point in time, you're going to be a habitual. And if you continue on this vein, you're going to end up spending the rest of your life in somebody's jail, be it California, Lavaca, Oklahoma, Texas, wherever it may be. You understand? So I'm going to deny your application, find you guilty, sentence you to 18 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. This run concurrent with cause number 708955, taking consideration 2023 CR 3616, JN number 2109814, grand jury number 790756. And I'll request the therapeutic community. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand? All right. We can go off the record. You say you have a child. All right. So here's the thing. You need to do better. And you need to be an example for your child. If you don't plan on doing better, not using drugs, not committing crimes, then don't be in that child's life because you're going to be a hindrance. You understand? All right. Good luck to you. Vashon, let me know when you need a break.
Your Honor, I would like to see if I could
speak with you offline
Sure.
about this.
Yes. All right, everyone, we're going to take a brief recess.
As this sentencing hearing came to a close, the court emphasized a reality that could never be changed. An innocent man lost his life while doing something as ordinary as changing a flat tire. Throughout the hearing, the judge carefully weighed the surveillance footage, the testimony presented in court, the defendant's statements, and the powerful words shared by the victim's family before reaching a final decision. The emotional victim impact statement served as a reminder that every criminal case extends far beyond the courtroom, affecting families whose lives are permanently changed. The judge ultimately concluded that the seriousness of the offense and the evidence presented justified imposing the maximum sentence allowed under the plea agreement. Cases like this provide an important educational look at how courts evaluate video evidence, witness credibility, victim impact, and sentencing in homicide cases while balancing the rights of every person involved in the justice system. Subscribe to follow this case and stay updated on whether any future post-conviction proceedings, sentence-related filings, or other legal developments arise following Jose Gonzalez's 35-year sentence.